Hi there, I'm Kate, Salon Director at North Laine Hair Company in Brighton. In this video I'm going to show you how to blow dry your hair smooth and straight. My hair is naturally quite frizzy, certainly wavy, so not like this at all. So ideal to show you how to blow dry it nice and smooth, and then finishing with the GHD Platinum Plus to get it super sleek. So I'm going to wash my hair, then I'm going to show you what products I've used, why I've used them, how I've used them, and then techniques how to get this look. Thanks so much. I have just washed my hair using Pureology Hydrate Shampoo and Pureology Hydrate Conditioner. The reason I've picked this range is I love Pureology. All of the range is colour safe. It is 100% vegan. And I've used Hydrate because it's got loads of moisture in it. So my hair's wavy, that means it's going to be more dry, and it's got bleaching, which also means it's going to lose moisture. So Hydrate is going to put all that moisture back into my hair, giving it a nice shine as well. Ways to look after your hair when it's wet. So our hair's most delicate when it's wet, it's most fragile. So the best time to comb your hair through is in the shower once you've applied the conditioner. So shampoo, apply your conditioner mid-lengths and ends, and then comb through at that point. My recommendation is a tangle teaser. There's one called Aqua Splash, which has a really good grip, obviously when you're wet in the shower, so you won't drop your brush. So comb your conditioner through. Out of the shower, wrap your hair up in a towel and then squeeze the moisture out rather than rubbing it. If you rub it, again, you're going to damage those ends and increase some split ends. So just squeeze the moisture out. Don't go straight into blow drying straight away because it will just take too long. It's obviously soaking wet if you do it then, and you're just going to waste the time. So for me, I clip it up just in a butterfly clip, just low down, then I can then carry on, have breakfast, do my makeup, and it's just going to dry a little bit on its own, saving some time. So this is the point that we would apply our product. If you were, for example, to apply the product earlier at the point of taking the towel off of your hair would be a lot more wet then, so you would end up diluting the product, meaning the product wouldn't be as effective, or you'd then need to apply more product, just wasting it. So apply the product now when it's damp, not very, very wet. Before I do that, my front hairline has dried a little bit, so I just need to damp that down again. The reason being, if I try and dry hair, I'm drying it out, so I'm taking all the moisture away. So you want to be putting the heat on wet hair. Equally, any frizziness that might have already started to show itself is not going to go unless I wet it down and start again. So we're just going to damp down through the roots. This is just a water spray just to get that all wet, and now I'm ready to apply my product. We are now ready to apply our product. So two products I'm going to use today. First is GHD Split End Therapy. So amazing for split ends, as it says on the tin. So I'm going to show you how much to apply. So about this amount, rub in your hands, apply to mid-lengths and ends first, and then around the hairline. So this product is basically fortifying and strengthening our hair. It's got beeswax in it. So what that means is when I put the GHD heat stylers on at the end, it's going to seal those ends and protect them from any damage, and leaving it super sleek as well. So I've got conditioning elements and heat protection elements from my GHD Advanced Split End Therapy. Now I want some styling hold. So I'm going to use 11 medium hold styling cream. This is just fantastic. So such a small amount needed, which means the product will last a very long time. What this does is give brilliant hold without feeling like it's holding, and tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and my style is going to be exactly the same. That never happens, so it's just fantastic. So I've said before about not washing your hair too much, so we wash it today, then ideally wash it in 2-3 days time. This gives you that flexibility. It means tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up, it's exactly the same. I don't need to put any heat on it, looking after the condition. Phenomenal product. Like I said, it doesn't feel like there's product in your hair. So it's quite common for clients to say, oh, I don't want any product, I don't want to feel product. These two products will let you run your fingers through it and it'll be light as anything, but you've got the heat protection and the control. So yeah, fantastic. it is quite common, as I said, for clients to say they don't want products in their hair because they don't like the feel of them. They don't want to feel a product in their hair. Now, in my experience, the reason that that's happening is that it's either the wrong product for you, so not right for your hair type, or it's being applied wrong or too much. So please do bring those products in to show us, and then we can talk through if it is right for you, how to use it, how much to use, and the actual benefit of it. We want you to love your products as much as we do, and it's just sometimes not having the right information. So we're here to give that to you. Also, a little tip, if you can see that there, so that says 12M and a little pot with the lid open. What that means is that this product is good for use for 12 months after you've opened it. So it's quite common to have a drawer full of products at home, not really loving any of them, and all of them going out of date. So find the right product for you with our help, and you'll get the best from them. We are now ready to go ahead and dry our hair. I have got an ETI Turbo hairdryer, and I'm going to use my GHD Platinum Plus stylers. So firstly, we need to dry the front. I think commonly people might start drying the hair at the back, and for me it's a bit boring drying your hair, isn't it? And if it takes a long time, by the time you're going to get to the front, you're probably not that interested anymore. But the front bit is the most important bit. That's the bit that needs to look really nice. So do the front bit first. If you run out of time, then again, the back, it doesn't matter. So start at the front, and equally, like I mentioned, if the front starts to dry and that frizziness is kicking in, then you're not going to get rid of it. So make sure it's wet enough when we dry the front bit. So put in your parting where you want it to be, and then we're going to dry this front bit forward. So no matter how long your hair, whether you have a fringe or not, this is the same advice for everybody. So put this bit, just tuck it behind your ears, out of the way. Use your big round brush. This is Kent Salon. We have Moroccan oil brushes in Salon, but a big round brush is absolutely ideal. You're going to tuck that underneath to give you some volume. If you don't want volume, then just bring that flatter. The more volume, give it a lift up. The key thing is that the hair dryer has to be right behind you, and that flow of the air is following down the hair. The cuticles in your hair are like banana skins that sit like this. We need those to be dried smooth and flat. So following your hair, most important piece of advice. So that's the front bit nice and smooth. You'll notice that I had it all forward, and then once I've finished drying it forward, I just blasted it with the cold air to push it back, and it found the parting that I wanted it to have. So now we are going to blast dry the rest of it, because we're not going to spend ages sectioning and smoothing each section. Our GHDs are going to do that for us. So we're going to blast dry through the rest. So we, again, want the airflow to be coming above us, coming down, following the hair. I'm going to put tension on my hair. So I'm just going to grab pieces and give it a pull, and then let that airflow down the hair to dry that nice and smooth. I'm going to get my hair about 90% dry from my blast dry. So that blast dry took me 2 minutes, so it's pretty quick. Things to know, the heat was on full heat, and I was on full power as well. So don't be afraid of that, because we've got our heat protection from our split end therapy that we put on beforehand. You don't have to have a nozzle. I do prefer them. I think it just guides the airflow a little bit more precisely. But if you haven't got one, don't worry. Still keep your hairdryer up here. That's the most important bit. So we have about 10% of moisture still left in the hair, and a lot of volume in the hair. So to get away from this 90s look, I'm going to smooth it a little bit more, and I'm going to use a Demron brush to take away the volume. I'm going to use this to give me some tension to pull my hair straighter and flatter. So I'm not going to section it when I do it, but I'm just going to take a section just to show you how it's done. So here's my curls underneath. So I'm going to use my Denman brush to go down and then up to really get a good grasp of the hair, and again bring the heat and the airflow down the hair. So every time I'm going in and then up and down to give it that pull to take those curls away. You will see us in the salon having a round brush going underneath and drying it like that. So if you can do that yourself, fantastic. But for me it's quite tricky, especially around the back, because you can't really see. You will, doing this, get a lot of volume in the roots. So again, if you want that, fantastic. I don't, I want to get rid of this volume, so I'm going to use a Denman to pull it down and flat. But yeah, as I said, if you want the volume, you can go in like this, but you would need to section each time you go in, rather than my blast dry. You'll see in a minute that I do it without sectioning. So there we have it. My hair is completely dry. That took 3 minutes. So also still quite quick. A couple of techniques that I use. The one I showed you at the beginning, where you're giving it the tension and pulling it down. The other was wrap drying. So I was just brushing my hair around my head, especially at the back. I've got a graduated bob. Through here, I'm brushing it down and just allowing the airflow to follow the direction of my cut. So I'm not pulling tension through the back, I'm just brushing it around, wrapping it around my head to dry it nice and smooth. As we said, we're going to use the GHDs in a moment. Let me get them heated up. So get them ready. So I've still got some volume, but it's 100% dry. The other key thing to know is at the end I used my cold shot, so you can change the temperature to cold, and most hairdryers have a cold shot as well. Blast all over with the cold air at the end. This is going to smooth your hair, it's going to help the cuticles lie flat. When they're lying flat, light can reflect, it will be shiny, but also a key thing is it makes sure that you can check that your hair is completely dry. Often there'll be bits through at the back here that may be potentially still a little bit damp, so you have to be completely dry before you introduce your GHDs. Now we have our final step with using our GHDs to finish that smoothness, that shine, and taking that extra volume away. Things you need, obviously your GHD, we've got our Platinum Plus. I find a Denman brush ideal for this section, and then a sectioning clip. Again, the crocodile clip, just much easier to use, I find. So I do it where I do this side first and that side second, rather than going bottom up. That's just the easiest way for me. I've got an undercut at the back, so I can't show you how to straighten that section, so I'll show you on the side bit first. So use your clip just to brush your hair, let's do it this side, and then slide along and lift it up. So then you're always going to brush your section first. So if you want to have volume in your hair, you don't want to take the GHDs right to your root, because that will take all the volume away. I do want to do that, so I am going to take my GHDs right to the root. But as I said, if you want volume, comb that section, use scissor fingers to hold that section, and then you're going to come in between obviously your head and your fingers. You're going to bring your straighteners in and then smooth them down. I like to bring mine in a little bit, so I bring it round because it just tucks that bob in. If you wanted it poker straight, just go straight down, don't bend it under at all. You can of course flick it out, you need to give it a little twist. The thing to know with GHDs is they are so responsive, which is fantastic when you get it right, but if you don't, they're quite hard to take that shape away. But the key thing to get a really good shape is to have a fluid motion, so don't stop them moving. Take them in, bring them down and let out. You don't want to go in and then sort of clunk it down, because you'll get different lines in your hair. I will show you how to do the whole look. Another thing to mention that you might have noticed is that I don't actually move my hand and the GHDs too much, sort of going like this. Mainly I'm here like that and I'm moving my head. Let me just show you what I mean. So I've taken my section, got my hair there, and then the stylers go in, and then I'm going to take my head away rather than moving my irons round. Just a bit easier. Equally, I did one side first, then the other side. I left my top section to the very end. So I left that section for my last, so that it's really easy to take the parting, see where the parting is, and then do that top section really nice and thinly on both sides. So even if you are going for a style with a lot of volume, you want to get this top section, you want to get your GHDs really close to the root through here. So going in there and then lifting and coming down, then that will really smooth that top section, even if you're going for volume. So there we are, that's the finished look. So that's our smoothing blow dry and our GHD finish. The GHDs took me about 6 minutes, so 11 minutes ideally for the whole blast dry, blow dry and GHDs. A couple of tips for your GHDs. We wouldn't want to run the GHDs through your hair more than twice. So 1 or 2 passes through your hair. As I said, if you want more volume than this, then just don't take your GHDs as close to the root as I did. Start them a bit further down and do them in bigger sections. So through the side I did about 4 sections. Just do that in 2 or 3, then you get the smoothness on the ends, but you still get a bit more volume higher up. If you are working with GHDs, you'll know they don't have a temperature gauge, they are on or off. GHDs regulate their temperature to be at 185 degrees. So if you're using stylers that have a temperature gauge, please don't put them higher than 185. That's the optimum temperature to smooth your hair down. You wouldn't want it to be any hotter than that. The products that I have used today are available to purchase via our website, northlainehairco.co.uk. If you have any questions, please do get in touch. Also follow us on our Instagram channel, North Laine Hair Beauty Brighton, and thank you for watching.